It's a number no city wants to celebrate on New Year's Day, the final tally of its 2019 homicide rate. The news comes after a violent New Year's Eve in Cleveland. Thanks for joining us at 6 o'clock, everyone. I'm Romney Smith. Russ and Sarah are off. Tonight, Mark Naymik explains how Cleveland's murder rate compares to previous years and what the city is doing to fight the violence.
We want to stop this violence that is happening.
Cleveland police recorded 118 homicides last year, down just slightly from the 120 in the year before. The numbers show a disturbing trend, an increase in deadly violence involving young people.
Who are we here for? Lyric! Who are we here for? Lyric!
10 people under the age of 18 were victims of homicides in Cleveland last year, up slightly over the year before. Looking a bit more broadly at the numbers, around 40% of victims were under the age of 25. And there's this development. Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Mike O'Malley said in an October report that more young teens and young adults are committing the homicides. He noted at the time that people under the age of 25 had committed 48% of the murders. 2020 is already off to a violent start in Cleveland. The city recorded 13 people shot in 10 separate shootings between 6 p.m. on New Year's Eve and this morning. A 31-year-old woman was killed on Merrill Avenue on the city's west side. A police report says she may have been hit by a stray bullet fired into the air to celebrate the new year. 4 people were shot around 1 a.m. at Club Medusa on St. Clair Avenue downtown. A video posted on Instagram purports to show what happened. Metro Health Medical Center told 3 News that its ER treated 11 shooting victims between last night and this morning.
The number of homicides, Romney, is trending down, but has remained above 100 in each of the last 5 years, and youth violence remains alarming. That's why the city of Cleveland has begun recently adding mentors and counselors to its 22 rec centers to connect with youth. It's too early to say if this is going to work, but it is one of several initiatives Mayor Frank Jackson is trying outside of adding more police. Romney?
All right, it's something. Thank you, Mark.